Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here. I'm Kat and I make videos about houseplants. This video is part of the genus series on my channel where I do a deep dive on one genus of common houseplant based on my personal experience with these plants. Today I'm going to be discussing the Syngonium genus. I'm going to be talking about a general background of the plant as well as general care tips for them, and then I'm going to share with you my personal Syngonium collection. So stay tuned till the end to see all of the beautiful Syngonium that I personally have. Here are the time codes on the side, and they will also be down in the description if you just want to click to the part that you're interested in. Okay, so I have my little demonstration here. This is a Syngonium. And Syngonium are part of the Araceae family of plants. These plants do flower when in the absolute optimal conditions. I've never seen a Syngonium flower. I think it's pretty rare. However, the older they get, they will start to vine for the most part. There are some exceptions that I'll talk about later. Syngonium are most well known for their cultivated species, Syngonium podophyllum, or commonly known as the arrowhead vine. These are the most common species of Syngonium, and usually a lot of the time when people are talking about Syngonium, it's often assumed that they're talking about Syngonium podophyllum. But podophyllum is a species of Syngonium. Hopefully that makes sense. My personal experience is with Syngonium podophyllum. These plants are tropical and they're native to Central and South America, and that is really visible in the care that I'm about to talk about. So Syngonium care. What I'm going to talk about right now is going to vary a little bit based on what species or variety or cultivar that you personally have in your home, as well as the environment that you have these plants in. So keep in mind that this is going to be a very general idea of what Syngonium like. First up, we have light. And light is actually one of the care tips that are going to vary a little bit between the type of plant, the type of Syngonium that you have. But in general, Syngonium can tolerate a broad range of light from low to bright, but I don't recommend putting them in direct bright sunlight. That's kind of across the board. However, it's going to depend on if your Syngonium is a little bit more of a basic green type, that's going to be able to handle lower light. If your Syngonium has variegation or bright colors in it, you might want to put it in a little bit of brighter light to keep that coloration. Water. Pretty much I just let these Syngonium dry out almost completely, but not entirely, so I'm not letting it get bone dry as I would with a ZZ plant. These are also a little bit of vocal plants. The leaves will start to droop a little bit when they're thirsty. Humidity. These plants will absolutely thrive in high humidity, but it's not necessary for them to be happy, healthy growing. You know, this plant sits a little bit farther away from a humidifier. I have some Syngonium where they're nowhere near a humidifier. So it's one of those things where if you have it, your Syngonium will like it. If not, it'll survive. I don't really recommend misting these plants to try and raise the humidity because, you know, the leaves don't really crisp, and in general, they're pretty simple and you don't want to promote any bacteria growth on these leaves. Fertilizer. I fertilize these plants every 2 weeks with a heavily diluted organic fertilizer. And lastly, propagation. The best way to propagate these plants is by cutting it just below the node and putting it in some water or sphagnum and letting the roots grow out that way. So that is a general, very quick overview on how to take care of Syngonium. Okay, so now to the fun stuff, my Syngonium collection. Hopefully when you're looking at my collection, you kind of see some of the varieties and cultivars that are available pretty easily. So I have a couple rarer ones, but for the most part, these are readily available for you. And hopefully you want to grow your Syngonium collection. I'm going to start with this guy right here. There is this illusion series with Syngonium that really confuses me because specifically the more green types, just the differences are so tiny and they all have different names. To my understanding, the illusion series is a patented or trademarked series of Syngonium cultivars. This is the Syngonium Pink Illusion. I think it's a pretty simple plant. I had some learning to do with the light because at first To keep the pink, I thought I had to put it really close to sun, so I put it in a south-facing window, but then a lot of the leaves started bleaching out a little bit. And now that I've put it a little bit farther from the window, I'm getting some nice deep pinks like this guy. Yeah, I really like this plant. I think it's simple, beautiful, and kind of a classic. Continuing on with the illusion series, I believe this is either a berry illusion or a bob illusion. Again, I'm really not good with the illusion identification. I'll put some close-ups. If you know, please share. I actually had this in way too low of light and started losing a lot of this beautiful pink color. I'll do a close-up. And now that I have it under grow lights, I'm getting a lot of that nice coloration back. So Syngonium are super forgiving in my experience. They're one of my favorite genus to take care of. That's why I have so many. They're pretty forgiving. So even though I have a couple, more dull leaves, they're coming in really nice now. Okay, so my last illusion series plant, I think, is this Syngonium Maria illusion. I'm pretty confident in that, but you can let me know if I'm wrong. And this one has like darker coloration with some really nice like reddish pink color. And yeah, I kind of misjudged this plant as well. I thought it could do well in low light because it's so dark, but it was fine, but I was losing a lot of that pinkish reddish color. So again, once I put it under some grow lights, I got that nice color in the new growth, but this plant was absolutely fine in low light. Okay, so next up I have this cute little guy. He was like $3 and I was really surprised because this is a cultivar that is, kind of sought after a little bit, but I found it in Whole Foods for $3 and I scooped it up. This is the Syngonium Confetti, and it's really pretty because of the light pink splashing. They kind of look like confetti or sprinkles on the leaves. And this is kind of new to me, but this is the same idea. I'm keeping it under grow lights to keep that splash present. Actually, one of my favorite Syngonium is this Syngonium Holly. I think it is so precious and beautiful and just full. This Syngonium actually does not vine. I think the term is clumps, so it grows really full, but it doesn't tend to vine, or it doesn't vine. So I'm a huge fan of this guy. I think she's really beautiful, healthy, full, constantly popping out new growth. I'm really happy with her. I'm sitting on the floor. It hurts. I'm like propped up on my legs, but I kind of like this setup. I think I'm gonna keep this, but hopefully I find a little stool. Okay, so next up I have this Syngonium Army, or I think it's also called the Mottled Syngonium, or Syngonium Camo. There's so many common names. But this is another podophyllum, and you can watch me unbox this really rare plant if you want. That was good. This plant is still transitioning into the pot, and it was a little droopy, so I have it propped up on this little chopstick stake right here. And overall, I absolutely love this plant. I think it's beautiful, and I can't wait to watch it grow with me. So another really popular plant right now is the Syngonium Pink Splash. It's obviously known for the pink on the plant. The pink is a little bit more present compared to the Syngonium Confetti, and it's like a nice little blend of pink and green on the leaves that I just absolutely adore. And the last Syngonium is this beautiful Syngonium Albo. And again, you can watch me unbox this plant. It was actually two plants that I combined into one and propped up on a chopstick again. It's just beautiful. It's one of my favorite Syngonium. Super easy to take care of so far. It's transitioning really well into the pot. I absolutely love it. And there you go, my final Syngonium in the collection. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a little bit about Syngonium as a genus, as well as some of the common varieties and cultivars that you can bring into your home. This is probably like one of my favorite plants ever, Syngonium in general, and I could not recommend bringing these into your home enough. Just do your research on what variety or cultivar would be best for your home, and you should have absolutely no problems. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, comment down below, like this video, all of that good stuff that helps me grow my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!